Ever wondered how freebies could turn into a gold mine? Have you ever seen the weirdest items fetching a fortune? Join me as today I'll share stories of items that had no known value and were laying waste until one day they turned the fortune of their keepers upside down. We'll explore the incredible stories of freebies that turned into treasures and discover the weirdest items ever sold for a pretty penny. The accounts of such items point to the sheer creativity and ingenuity behind turning freebies into a source of income and stumbling upon the weirdest, most expensive items that have left the world in awe. Galactic Drop, a 6-figure space stone. Number 10. Alright folks, strap in for an out-of-this-world story. So imagine you're this farmer dude in the late 80s living the dream with a new Michigan farm. You're checking out the barn, and what do you find? A massive 22-pound rock with a reddish tint. Your first thought? Great doorstop material. Fast forward to 2018. Meteors are falling like they're auditioning for a cosmic talent show. Our farmer pal finally decides to drag the rock to Central Michigan University for a little rock and roll science. Guess what? It's a meteorite, the 6th largest in Michigan, valued at a jaw-dropping $100,000 US. But here's the crazy part. The farmer knew it was a space rock all along. He's like, yeah, had the meteorite doorstop for 30 years, not a big deal. Using $100 grand as a doorstop without realizing? That's like accidentally wearing a $1 million necklace to the gym. What the heck is going on here? Stardust Jackpot, when moon dust fetches $1.8 million. Number 9. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your rocket boosters because we've got a moon dust mix-up. So there's this government auction site, and they're selling everything from impounded illegal items to, you guessed it right, moon dust. Nancy, the Chicago Maverick, bought a bag of moon dust for less than $1 grand. It's like winning the space lottery. She got excited and thought all this time that she had just discovered a treasure, so she sent it to NASA. We cannot say much about her intentions at this point, but here's the kicker. NASA didn't buy it. They're like, yep, Armstrong's leftovers, but no thanks, you should keep it. Turns out, it was stolen goods. Compliments of Max Airy, the space bandit. NASA's like, now we are in big trouble. Nancy takes them to court, and the judge says, you can keep this space dirt. Later, she turns around and sells it for $1.8 million. Talk about turning a corner and finding a treasure chest. It's like stumbling upon a hidden gem in a thrift store. Except this time, the gem is worth a small fortune. The buyer must have felt like they hit the jackpot, going from a casual purchase to an unexpected cash windfall. I bet the original owner is doing a victory dance right now. Who would have thought that a seemingly ordinary item could transform into a 7-figure masterpiece? Wow, Nancy, you're the real MVP. $1.8 million? That's not just money, that's a down payment on a rocket to the moon. Forget about hitting the jackpot, you practically hit the lunar gold mine. If money talks, you're saying, I've been to space and back, and now I'm living the high life. I hope you're ready for your next mission, intergalactic shopping bonanza. Gaga's $12,000 fingernail finds a new home. Number 8. In the fun world of collecting things, we're talking about stuff that seems ordinary but is secretly valuable. The cheap items that are worth a lot of money. Did you hear about Lady Gaga's lost fingernail? Yeah. Apparently she misplaced it during a concert in Dublin. A stagehand saw it happen and thought, jackpot. He picks up the nail, probably expecting it to be a winning lottery ticket or a secret code to unlock Gaga's next album. Turns out, it's just a nail. But it's not just any nail. It's a Gaga original, custom made by a fancy New York nail artist. He sells it online for $12,000. People are paying more for Gaga's lost nail than I paid for my last car. I've got a drawer full of mismatched socks. Maybe that's my retirement fund. And there you have it, folks. Gaga's lost fingernail. The accidental celebrity of Dublin. Who knew a nail could be worth more than a month's rent or a fancy vacation? I mean, I've got a collection of old CDs in my attic. Maybe I'm sitting on a gold mine of nostalgic treasure. Anyone interested in a scratched-up Backstreet Boys album? Let's hope Gaga's nail buyer isn't planning to start a celebrity body part museum. I can see it now. The Fingernail Chronicles, featuring the lost treasures of the rich and famous. My sock retirement fund is starting to look pretty appealing right about now. Blobby or not Blobby, the $79,000 nightmare bid. Let me tell you about the craziest auction ever, the Mr. Blobby Nightmare Edition. So, Blobby is this bizarre character from a 90s UK kids show. If you ask me, he's scarier than a clown in a horror movie. Someone decided to sell an old Blobby costume on eBay. I mean, who would want that? Maybe someone thought it's the ultimate Halloween getup, like the Casper the Unfriendly Ghost Edition. Anyway, after a wild bidding war, the cursed Blobby suit sold for $79,000. That's enough to buy a lifetime supply of nightlights. Imagine paying big bucks for a costume that probably comes with its ghost stories. Talk about a pricey suit. But wait folks, there's more to this weird story. I can't help but wonder what that new owner plans to do with their haunted treasure. Maybe they're hosting a Blobby-themed haunted house, or planning the world's most expensive game of hide-and-seek. Just imagine, you're wandering through a dark corridor, and suddenly, Blobby jumps out with a blobby blobby blobby. Who would have guessed that this seemingly ordinary suit could hold such hidden treasures? That's enough to give anyone a $79,000 heart attack. Hey, maybe they're just Blobby's #1 fan, hoping this haunted costume will bring them luck. Before we hear the remaining stories, why don't you like this video first and subscribe to Astonishify? We bring fascinating stories that haven't been told before and are sure to surprise you for the better. So make sure to smash that bell icon so you don't miss out on the latest updates. Bieber's Treasure, the hilarious journey of a $40,668 hair auction. Alright, let's dive into the Justin Bieber hair saga, the MVP of the pop world. In 2011, Bieber switched up his hairstyle and generously gave a strand of his golden locks to Ellen DeGeneres. Now, Ellen, being the mastermind she is, decides to turn this into charity gold. She tosses it on eBay, and voila, $40,668 collected. Some lucky soul is now the official owner of Bieber's strand. Can you believe it? Now, speaking of unbelievable things, have you heard about the strangest items ever sold on eBay? The Bieber hair auction was so intense. I heard they had to hire a referee to break up fights between fans arguing over who would get custody of that magical strand. I mean, forget about joint custody, it's joint hairship now. Ellen really knows how to turn trash into treasure. I wouldn't be surprised if she's currently brainstorming ways to auction off the air Justin Bieber breathed during his last concert. Spoiler alert, it'll probably come with a personalized oxygen tank. McNugget burp sauce, from cartoon gag to eBay gold. Whoever coughs up the cash gets the glory. McNugget burp sauce. So, if you've ever had the pleasure of witnessing the American masterpiece Rick and Morty, you might recall the thrilling 2017 Szechuan sauce episode. In it, the brilliant mind of the show, Rick, sheds a tear for the lost McDonald's Szechuan sauce of '98. Well, wouldn't you know it, the episode caused a sensation. Suddenly, everyone and their grandma wanted a taste. McDonald's, in their infinite wisdom, decided to give away a handful of these golden 64-ounce bottles. And guess what happened next? Someone with the business mind of a genius decided to put it on eBay. Instead of chugging it like a sensible person, they sold it for a mind-blowing $15,350. Yup, you heard that right. 15 grand for a sauce. In case you're wondering, that's more than my car's worth. Belle Delphine's crazy success story. Get ready for another crazy story about how much people love celebrities. Meet Belle Delphine, the clever person behind some strange things on the internet. She did funny stuff like eating raw eggs and putting googly eyes on octopuses. But hold on, in 2019, she did something really bizarre. She sold her used bathwater. Can you believe it? You could buy a bottle of it for $29.99. It's not about feelings, it's about water that once touched armpits. Surprisingly, this bold idea made an incredible $12.7 million. Who would have thought selling bathwater could make so much money? Maybe I should start selling mine. Garage sale gold, $2.2 million jackpot surprise. What if you came across a great deal that could turn a seemingly insignificant freebie into a mind-blowing jackpot? Let's talk garage sales. You know, the place where you find half-used candles, mismatched socks, and occasionally your neighbor's dignity for sale. But not for this New York family. No, sir. So, they're at this garage sale, minding their own business, when they spot a little bowl. $3. Now, I spend more on my coffee order every morning. They take it home, toss it on the mantelpiece, and forget about it for 6 years. In 2013, they decided to play detective and figure out the bowl's backstory. Turns out, it wasn't just a bowl, but an antique from the Northern Song Dynasty, whatever that means. The only dynasty I'm familiar with is the one that involves sitting on the couch in my PJs. They decide to sell it, and the auctioneer's like, yeah, it might go for 300 grand. How on earth is that even possible? Folks, hold your garage sale hats. After a bidding war that probably had people auctioning off their grandma's secret cookie recipes, that $3 bowl becomes a $2.2 million sensation. Suddenly, I feel the urge to reevaluate my life choices and start attending garage sales with a magnifying glass. Who knows? Maybe I'll stumble upon the next priceless treasure, or at least a decent fortune. Wagner card, the 7-figure shuffle. Ever thought a humble piece of cardboard could become the LeBron James of collectibles? And hey, who knows? As you're watching this, there might be items in your own collection worth an absolute fortune. Maybe that vintage action figure or that quirky lamp from the 80s is secretly your golden ticket to the collector's jackpot. Well, it's time to hold on to your old antique items as we unfold this life-changing story of the $7.25 million Wagner card. The Wagner card, the celebrity of the cardboard world. I mean, seriously, move over Hollywood, we've got Honus Wagner stealing the spotlight, and he's not even on TikTok. So, back in the ancient year of 1909, when they traded cards instead of tweets, the American Tobacco Company thought, hey, let's put Honus Wagner on our cigarette cards without asking him. Classic move, right? Now fast forward to 2022, where this card, the Mona Lisa of trading cards, sold for a mind-blowing $7.25 million. Can you believe a simple piece of cardboard, the Wagner card, fetched an astonishing $7.25 million in the wild world of trading cards? So next time you open a pack of cards, check for celebrity endorsements. You might just be holding the next $1 million masterpiece. Stay classy, collectors. Dust to dollars, the untold tale of forgotten sneakers. Ever wonder if your basement held secret treasures or just a bunch of mischievous dust puppies? Well, there's this guy, Larry Aw, who found something amazing in a forgotten sneaker. Larry works at a mall, and one day he discovered an old Nike Air Jordan sneaker from 1985 signed by Michael Jordan himself. Can you believe it? Instead of ignoring it, Larry took it home. Years later, he gave it to Donald, his son-in-law. And guess what? This seemingly old sneaker was worth a crazy $55,200. So, did Donald toss it aside or sell it for a cool $55,200? We're not talking about Monopoly money here, folks. That sneaker went from an abandoned piece of crap to the hottest commodity in Larry's basement. Imagine finding something valuable in your basement tonight. Who knows, your old things could turn out to be a cash machine too. Time to search in those dusty corners and see what surprises you might have. I've nearly reached my limit with these wild stories, but if you've been watching, let us know which one surprised you the most. Have you ever come across something super cheap and turned it into a big fortune by selling it? If you have, share your experience in the comments, and thanks for tuning in. Who would have guessed that finding the most expensive things could be so simple? We heard stories of people who made a lot of money by making ordinary things special. In the world of influencers and online selling, especially on Amazon and eBay, products are like magic keys to success. Today, we learn how regular people turn what they love into a fortune in the most unimaginable way possible. Maybe, just maybe, something of sheer good value is laying around you, waiting for you to discover it. That's it from my side. If you like this video, make sure to check out our channel Astonishify. We'll be back with more stories and facts that will leave you stunned.